Absolutely. You just nailed it. The reason you haven't heard truth from the mainstream media is because the Chinese Communist Party has used the money to influence and to censor them.
Yeah.
And so these mainstream Western media have been bowing down to the Chinese Communist Party. You know the word kowtow means this. Like
Okay, yeah.
kowtow means that they gave up their principle, they gave up their moral values for money. And so there's nothing wrong with the capitalism, but when capitalism is not with the faith or moral value, that's a disaster for the Western society, because that means that Chinese Communist Party can also control your freedom of speech,
Yes,
your
they
freedom
do.
of press, and eventually you will be living just like the slaves under the Communist Party.
Yeah, we are. I mean, it's the big government and the big companies that control the narrative, and it's not different in the capitalist West than in communist China. Communist China is more severe, but it's the same principle.
Yeah. Absolutely, like the lockdown, the government mandate on vaccine, and controlling of the mainstream media, controlling of the narrative. I mean, what we see in the Western society is the exact manifestation of what Mr. Mao Guo, the founder and leader of the Chinese whistleblower movement, warned 5 years ago on April 19th when he was giving an interview to the Voice of America, a U.S. government-owned international broadcaster. He warned the international community about the evil nature of the Chinese Communist Party. And guess what? His live interview was abruptly suspended.
Wow.
Yes, and also his interview with the BBC has also been censored, and BBC refused to broadcast the live interview with Mr. Mao Guo. And also, if you Google Mr. Mao Guo on Google, and you will find many fabricated story, propaganda produced by the Chinese Communist Party in New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, Mother Jones. I mean, continuously. So this is how the mainstream Western media has become a tool of the Chinese Communist Party's propaganda.
Wow. It's ridiculous. It should be known. You should have your own media channels underground to communicate these interviews and this news. You should have.
Yeah.
And you can.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.